Indiana University Bloomington for beginners. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyouontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyouontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. Indiana University has put out a press release recently touting all the amazing, impressive statistics for its campuses. I want to focus today on Indiana University Bloomington. And here is the key pull quote. Indiana University Bloomington set a record this fall. This is fall 2024. With 48,424 students enrolled. Applications for the Bloomington campus were also up 25% from last year, which has led to the campus's second largest beginning class ever at 9,600. Indiana University Bloomington's new class represents enrollment growth of 24% over the past decade. The campus has 5,231 undergraduate beginner students from Indiana. For the 7th consecutive year, Indiana University Bloomington enrolled beginner students from all 92 Indiana counties, and a record 48 states plus Washington, D.C. IU Bloomington's beginner class is academically outstanding, with 38% achieving a 4.0 grade point average on a 4.0 scale in high school. There are 88 valedictorians in this year's cohort, and 29% of the beginner students graduated in the top 10% of their high school class. The number of undergraduate students of color from Indiana at Indiana University Bloomington hit a record this year, up more than 7% from last year. We have entered a world in which students starting college are called beginners. It's like the 3-year-old class in preschool or the 2-year-old class. Like, this is crazy. They used to be called freshmen. Then that was offensive, and they became known as first years. And now we've gotten to the point, we've devolved so much. We're talking about beginners, just beginners. These are 18, 19-year-old guys and girls. They are beginners. And gosh, they use that term over and over. I couldn't help but notice it. It really popped out at me. But putting that aside, at the end, you saw interesting information there, which is the population that went up 7% at Indiana University Bloomington. I do think it's interesting because ultimately Indiana University is a really great public institution in the state of Indiana. It is actually noteworthy in a number of disciplinary areas, particularly business. I am a huge fan of the Kelley School of Business. I believe it to be one of the marquee undergraduate business schools in the United States of America. And considering how selective Indiana University is overall, and the Kelley School of Business is for a direct admit, it is still really low-hanging fruit considering the quality of the academic programming for business at Indiana for strong high school students. So I'm a huge fan of putting that on your list if you are serious about studying business as an undergraduate. But there are other programs at Indiana that are also quite intriguing. Everyone, whether you're white, black, Indianan, or out of state, should be looking at a school like Indiana because it is still relatively easy to get into. But as it relates to affirmative action in particular, the reason I bring it up is that's good news. Indiana University Bloomington hits a record this year of students of color, up more than 7% from last year. I think that's just a terrific news because it's a public school. So the actual costs of attending are much cheaper than going to a private school of similar rank, no matter what your program of study is. B, or two, I would say that, especially for Indianans who are students of color, it is a wonderful option because the fact of the matter is it's much cheaper as an in-state student at a public institution than an out-state student. Number 3, or C, reason why I think it's great news, is because if there are some institutions that are now limited from practicing affirmative action and therefore accepting as many students of color as they used to be able to admit, under the old affirmative action days. If that is happening, and it's happening here and there, we have seen that in some videos we've discussed it, then what a great fallback option for strong students who want to have a stellar academic experience at a lower price in many cases than other shishi universities that are quite expensive, the private ones. Indiana is a terrific option. So I think that is wonderful news. Again, here we're talking about students of color, but again, Indiana is great for all students who want the big state school experience in a relatively warm, relatively safe. When I say warm, I mean like culturally warm, not environmentally warm. It's not like warm weather in Indiana, but it's a warm culture at Indiana University Bloomington. It's a school that has school spirit. It's a school that, again, is in a nice enough town. And so there's a lot of things going for Indiana. You could do far worse than Indiana. And so I'm happy to see that Indiana University is having success. Another huge reason why I like Indiana University for freshmen, I'll call them freshmen, even if they call them beginners, is because the institution does not require any supplemental essay. And what a fun thing that is for students. When you're applying via the Common App, and then you have to do all these extra little essays on the supplement, Indiana just has no airs about it. They are just very, you get what you pay for. You get what you see. It's very transparent. And there's no need to make students applying to Indiana University jump through extra hoops on the supplement, which I think is wonderful. So for a lot of reasons, I think you should consider Indiana University Bloomington. And this, again, is true if you're from in-state or out of state. I've been focusing on Indiana recently. My goodness, again, their high school curriculum is going south, but Indiana University still has a lot going for it. So that is good news. And this, again, makes it attractive not just for my domestic out-of-state students or my Indianan students, but also for students from around the world, especially, again, those who are interested in studying business at the undergraduate level. Now, let's say you really want to get into Indiana University Bloomington and you want to do all you can to seal the deal and get in as a first-year student or as a freshman. You may seriously want to consider my pre-read. It's my newest product. When you finished your Common App and you want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate, you want my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire Common App, just like an admissions officer or an admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email, no later than the time you reserve, a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and one Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App to, let's say, Indiana University, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App to Indiana University, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at Indiana University Bloomington. To purchase my pre-read, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions